Welcome students to Scientific Notation Part 2. If you remember in Part 1 we wrote a very large number in scientific notation. In this screencast we'll write a small number in scientific notation. So let's go ahead and get started. Just going back to our definition, and again we got this definition for scientific notation from a website called Intermath from the College of Education at the University of Georgia. So if you ever need to look anything up, I encourage you to go to this math dictionary. It's excellent. And scientific notation is a way to express a very large or very small number as the product of a number between 1 and 10 and a power of 10. And we did an example with a large number last time. So now we're going to do an example with a smaller number. Well, I looked online and I found the ratio of the mass of the moon to the earth, and it turns out that the moon its mass is about 1% of that, or about 1/100th of that of the earth. So let's try to convert this number right here, 0.0123, and let's try to convert this number into scientific notation. So to start, we're going to write our number out here, 0.0123, or that's tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000, so 123 10,000ths. Okay, but how will we convert that to scientific notation? Well, going back to our definition again, to write a number in scientific notation, we're going to need to write it as A times 10 to the n, where n is some integer and a is a number between greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10. So we need to move our decimal point over till we get to our first non-zero number. So we're going to move it over 1, 2 times. So we're going to go ahead and write 1 point. And if you remember, I said in the last screencast, these other numbers are important. Even though we're moving in a different direction, we still need those numbers when we write this number in standard form in a scientific notation form. So let's keep the 23. So 1.23 times 10. And how many times did we move that decimal point? Well, it started here, and we moved it 2 times. So 1.23 times 10 to the second. But let's think for a second. Did we move that decimal point to the right? To the left? Or did we move it to the right? Well, I think quickly you'd see we moved it to the right. So when we move to the right, it's like dividing by 10, or raising our factor of 10 to a negative power. So we're raising this 10 to the negative 2 power. So writing this number right here, which is written in standard form, 123 10,000ths, or about 1/100th, we write it as 1.23 times 10 to the negative 2 power. And that's the ratio of the Earth's mass, the moon's mass to the Earth. So if we were to take the moon's mass and set up a ratio to the mass of the Earth, we would get this number right here. All right, I'll see you in the next screencast.